Hello, sanibonani dumelang igama uZandy isibongo Mfeka umalwandle lo lwandle kalola lwezibhekane zona isihambela lekude phezulu. Do join. Dumelang sanibonani, welcome, bonjour. We are coming to you live from the Troyville Hotel down in Johannesburg, 1403 Albertina Sisulu Street. Now, remember that we are also here in Johannesburg to launch the brand new podcast, which is Meaningful Conversations with Zandy Mfeka. So, if you have not yet bought your tickets, I don't know what you're waiting for. But right now, the compliments are going to a very handsome gentleman that is sitting next to me right here, who is accommodating us at the Troyville Hotel. Sir, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Please introduce yourself.
Sure. You have a sip first. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Troyville. I'm the proprietor of the Troyville Hotel, this iconic establishment that's been around here since 1939. And I have the pleasure of welcoming guests to our lovely precinct. I also have the pleasure of looking after the best staff that you can find in Johannesburg from a service point of view. We have happy staff, and you know, there's a saying, you know, happy staff make happy customer, make happy bank manager. So thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having us, because you are accommodating us today, the whole crew. Thank you so much. We really appreciate that. Mr. Raul, tell me something. This is one of the oldest hotels in Johannesburg. And there is a rich history that comes with it. Can you take us through the history that comes with the Troyville Hotel from the time where this place was actually a mine? Because a lot of youngsters don't know that, hey?
Indeed. So yes, so as I said earlier, this hotel was established, albeit not in the same size and form, but it was established in 1939. If we cast our minds back to 1939, obviously none of us were born, but it was the days of the speculation up on the reef. So there were a lot of people speculating for gold. In those days, the Second World War was still raging between America, Europe, and Japan. And as far back then as then, we had dusty streets that used to be very wide. There was horse and carriage, and that's when this hotel was actually born. It's been here for a long time. It's probably one of the first hotels up on the reef. And I'm glad to say that out of most of those sort of hotels that were established in that era, we're probably one of a very few that are still actually running.
Yes. 1939, so you mentioned.
Yes.
Now, tell us something. There is something that caught my eye. The first time I came here, the lift, the type of the lift that you are using. Can you please tell us a little bit about that?
So obviously, when they built the hotel in 1939, you know, they didn't have the technology that they have today. So we have a very old school lift in the actual building. Unfortunately, it is not functional because the headgear that was installed at the time no longer has any parts. There were some engineering companies that were prepared to help us, particularly when we took over the hotel, to help recommission the lift. But the costs were very exorbitant because all the parts had to be manufactured from scratch. So we decided to keep the lift, but it's not in a functioning order. We have alternatively found another mechanism to get people up all the way to the roof, and that's through an industrial lift. Now that lift is the type of lift that you would find in the gold mine, in the mining industry, where it takes people underground. So we, you know, again, in keeping with the theme of the hotel and the heritage of the hotel, we didn't come and bring a nice modern glass lift into it, you know, from an aesthetic point of view. We decided to keep sort of with the authentic nature of the industrial kind of age. And hence we have this industrial lift that caters for up to 16 people. It takes equipment, it takes food, it takes beverages, it takes stock, it takes band equipment all the way to the roof.
Which makes a history on its own, because now a 2K that has never seen how the lifts at the mine looks like. If the parents decide to come and sleep here and they see that lift, they get a bit of an education how actually lifts in those days that were used by the miners look like.
Yes, yeah, indeed, they would.
Okay. So what services do you offer here?
So we obviously are referenced to as a hotel. We only, at this stage, we only have 6 bedrooms within the hotel, all en suite, with a mini kitchenette.
Okay.
Historically, when they built hotels way back then, the hotels were just rooms. There was no bathroom facilities attached to the rooms. So you had to go across the passage to a communal area where you would then have a communal showering area and bathroom facilities. Very old-fashioned. So that's no longer applicable in today's day and age. We had to convert a lot of the bedrooms, which were quite tiny, into 2 or 3 bedrooms into 1 bedroom to accommodate, obviously, the facility. Correct. Now, so that's left us with 6 hotel rooms. One is a double suite, so it can accommodate 4 people or up to 6. And the others generally can accommodate between 2 and 3 or 4 people, depending on the age of the children. So that's what we have in terms of facility of accommodation. In order for our existence to remain viable, we naturally rely on our restaurant. Obviously, this coffee shop that we're sitting in, our restaurant, which serves very, very affordable Portuguese cuisine. The quality of the food is exceptional. The pricing is very competitive. And certainly, it's an attraction for a lot of people to come and visit us. Our business and our livelihood is dependent on people traveling specifically to come to the Troyville as a destination. So that's a very big highlight for us in terms of our property. We also have a conferencing and banqueting area on the 2nd floor. That accommodates either training requirements. We can also do banqueting for small birthday parties, weddings, baby showers, and we've had many of those happening. A lot of the corporates use it for training purposes and for conferences. And then, of course, I think the highlight of the property is our rooftop bar. It's synonymous with, obviously, the Johannesburg skyline. So, it's got a beautiful view of Hillbrow, Braamfontein, and obviously the Johannesburg city centre downtown. It's obviously at quite a high elevation, so you get to see all the buildings. And what's really very nice is when you see the day transition from day into the evening, where you see the sun starting to set amongst the buildings, and then you see the lights coming on in the city. And then obviously, when night comes, you have a beautiful evening view of what the city skyline looks like.
So literally, when you are standing on the rooftop, you can actually see you can have the overview of the whole of Johannesburg, more like a bird sky view.
Yes. So it does offer a 360-degree view, but obviously as far as the hills around us allow us. So we can look all the way pretty much down to towards Eastgate, towards the airport, OR Tambo. We obviously have a view into the city, into Berea, Hillbrow, Braamfontein. And then on the southern side, we see a couple of churches up in Jeppe, as far as obviously the eye can see, given that obviously we are surrounded by quite a lot of hills.
This episode is proudly sponsored by the Troyville Hotel, located in the heart of Johannesburg, number 1503 Albertina Sisulu Street. They will give you an affordable rate at the quality service. Now, you mentioned that you're specializing in serving a Portuguese buffet. Now, for somebody who doesn't understand what offerings are within that buffet, can you just break it down for us in just a lay's language? What can I expect if I don't know what Portuguese is? What can I expect if I come on a Sunday lunch buffet?
So our Portuguese cuisine revolves around meat. We have meat different ways. Obviously, we've got the steaks. We've also got what we call espetada. Espetada are small cubes of rump steak on a skewer, dripped with sauce on a stand. We do fish. We have fresh line fish.
Mozambican fish.
We serve.
I had it the last time. It was very yummy.
We serve silver fish or dorado. We obviously generally serve those with the head on. So from a Portuguese cultural point of view, you serve the whole fish, including the head.
The head in it.
Yes. It's not deboned, but we also do have filleted fish. We have hake, and then of course, Mozambican prawns, calamari, and then obviously we move into the chicken. We have grilled baby chicken, pretty much the Portuguese Mozambican way, with a peri-peri sauce. And then along with that, we have accompaniments like fries, chips, We obviously, we have the various vegetable salads that complement it. From a starter point of view, we've got chicken livers, we've got chicken giblets, we've got trisciata, which is finely cubed meat in a sauce. We've got calamari, we've got squid heads. So pretty much, a combination of meat, poultry, and fish.
Basically something for everyone, because nowadays we've got vegans, we've got vegetarians, we've got people who eat only white meat. I don't even know what's the difference. But what you are mentioning now, it sounds like no matter what style of eating you are into, you can be accommodated when you come for something.
Yes, absolutely, and it's authentic. I mean, it's authentic cuisine. It's there are decent, healthy portions. In other words, our portions are quite generous. We make it how the customer wants it. So if a customer wants something with very little sauce on it, we can make it quite plain but yet tasteful. And then obviously you get the people that really enjoy, your spicy sauces and your rich sauces to go with the food. But we cater for pretty much anybody. We do have a situation where sometimes people request vegan meals, and we do accommodate them with their meals. Okay. Because we realize that sometimes people don't want to eat, or they're very mindful of what they eat, and they don't want to eat food that's not prepared according to their requirements. So as I say, we are very flexible and very accommodating. And as I say, there's a big range of food items for people to enjoy without a problem.
Yeah, diet has become a very crucial thing in our days, because there are also people who are sick with different things where they have to accommodate whatever illness that they have that they are trying to manage. So there is also something that I saw which is quite interesting, a glass house. Can you tell us a bit more what happens in the glass house? And I also saw that there are some spectacular views when you're standing from that side and you're looking into the city.
Yes. So the glass house is on our first floor. It's a completely glass house, in which means that you've got an external view of the room from all four sides. It's got an external deck attached to it. And basically, it's a venue within our property that people hire out for private functions. So if you're looking for exclusivity, you're looking for something that is for your guests only, with butler service. That's what we offer. So it's got a beautiful view of the skyline. It's got its own private deck. Generally, what happens is we second a butler to the venue, and the butler takes care of pretty much end to end of all the requirements of the guests. Some people during the week particularly use it for corporate meetings.
Oh, okay.
We've had a lot of
something away from the office.
Away from the office, yes. Yeah. Breakaway, board meetings, general meetings or AGMs. And then we've had wedding proposals, we've had engagements. We've had private functions. So yeah, it's a very special place, and people really enjoy booking it out.
Okay. Now, tell me something. If I am booking a room at the Troyville Hotel, what do I expect? I get a room, I get a breakfast, I get dinner. What is the package? Or you can custom make the package to suit the customer's need?
Yes. So most establishments that offer accommodation generally have a breakfast included in the price. We don't include breakfast in the price because we want to make the room prices competitive.
Oh, okay.
So the amenities in the rooms are they're very well appointed. They're generous in size. They have pretty much all the comforts that one would need. We have air conditioning. We obviously have television sets, ensuite bathroom, a little kitchenette, so you could actually bring your own food and prepare it if you wish. But as an optional extra, we then cater to snacks and all three meals. So we've got breakfast on offer, we've got mid-morning snacks, we've got lunch, mid-afternoon snacks, and we have dinner. So we allow people to then determine their budget and then decide, what it is that they would like to have as a meal, without forcing them to have to pay for the breakfast to the extent that maybe in a rush they need to go to a meeting.
They cannot even eat.
And they can't even eat sometimes. So what happens is they forfeit that portion of the funds that go towards the meal. So we've decided to keep it out of the room rate.
Okay, nice. So now let us talk about the events, because the rooftop is beautiful. And I've also had a couple of events here, and the staff is amazing. Can you tell us a little bit more? What type of events do you accommodate, and what is the procedure? If I am an events coordinator, maybe somebody who is just in the arts, performing arts industry, I want to come here and do the events. What do we do?
So again, as I referenced earlier, the rooftop is very much an entertainment venue. It's a venue where we generally promote live music or canned music in the form of DJs playing their playlists. So we pretty much have a booking schedule for every Saturday and Sunday during the day, and then we also have Friday evenings, Saturday evenings available, and occasionally Sunday evenings. So it depends on the bookings that come in, and whether the venue has already been secured. So if I can take you through a list of events that we've got, for example, this weekend coming up, we've got Max and Love on Sunday, and we've got Car Crash Burn on Saturday with some DJs. We've had a couple of other bands here. A couple of weeks ago, we had Black Cat Bones with the Cape Electric Philharmonic Orchestra. We had a gentleman who's a very old musician and been around forever called Robin Old. And so we've pretty much got the next probably 8 weeks booked up already with events every weekend. We publish them on our website. There's a small entrance fee that needs to be paid between about 100 and 150 Rand, depending on the artist and how well known they are and the demand. But then what happens is that's the cover entrance to come in. And then what we normally do is put special menus together, and we put obviously beverage specials as well for people to enjoy while listening to the music. And then obviously we do have a dance floor, so people that enjoy the genre of music that's being played and want to show their moves, obviously they can get up and boogie, So from that perspective, that's what we do. But we are known as an events precinct, and people follow us because of the events that we hold here. So a very sought after venue for events. And as I say, for any promoter or a curator of a music event, we suggest that you get in touch with us, as early as possible, understanding that probably require about a 6-week lead time minimum. Yes, and also because the cost of putting on an event is quite substantial in the sense that you've got to put up all the sound. You've got to sort out the venue. You've got to deal with all the logistics. Obviously, you've got to plan for the food and the beverages. And so in order to make that successful, we like to advertise. And so obviously we advertise through our various platforms, the social media platforms, mainly, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, there's so many platforms. I as an older person, can't keep up with what's going on.
The trend, the influencers.
But that's why we employ some very young, dynamic, creative people to take care of that. But we do need to put it out there so that people can plan, their lives around what events are coming.
Absolutely.
Also, as I mentioned earlier, we are not necessarily, we are a destination. So generally, the earlier we can put out content, the earlier people can plan their lives, get group of friends together, plan, commit to the date, and then obviously come through and enjoy what's on offer.
Absolutely. Now, the last and the question that could be in somebody else who wants to come or who's seeing this right now, and they're like, I want to go and try out this space, but now I worry about my safety and the area that I'm going to be sleeping at. How is your security? And the last question is, if I am coming from another place, coming from the OR Tambo Airport, do you offer shuttle services?
All right, so to answer the first part of your question, there is a misconception that the area is not safe. I think too often people make assumptions without really understanding the facts.
True. Yeah.
So the assurance that I want to give the viewers is that the area is generally very safe. I would go as far as saying that you are much safer in the Troyville area than you would be in Rosebank or Sandton. Now, again, trying to convince people, that this is the case is a hard story to sell. But I can honestly tell you, since we took over the property and we've invested in making this building beautiful again, and we've spent a lot of money, we've also got involved with the community. So we have a lot of community projects that are on the go, and by association, there's definitely a big move by business in the area to clean up the area, to ensure that the area is safe, to make sure that there are patrols, and that the elements that generally you would find in areas that are run down, that those elements aren't harassing customers. And the one thing I can say, in the 3 years that we've been here, we haven't had a break into a vehicle, we haven't had any hold-ups, we haven't had any instance of any criminal activity within the close proximity of our property. And I would go as far as saying 5 kilometers. Now that will extend all the way to Ponty, Berea, Ponty, into the city, Hillbrow, down to Eastgate, and into Jeppe. Yeah. So the community also appreciates the fact that we've invested in the area and we've created and stimulated employment. Okay. What's also happened since we've taken over, a lot of people are fixing up their properties because they understand that if you invest in your own property and you keep it clean, you're adding value. Oh, yes. So we make it very important to keep our pavements clean. We make sure that we've got security, we've got armed security. We've obviously always want to make sure, first and foremost, that anybody that visits our establishment is obviously safe. So that's our first priority. And it's a necessity, because if we don't focus on that area or that element, why would people want to come here? They would be petrified to come here. And I can honestly tell you that we do have a lot of visitation, which tells us that there's an element of confidence by the people that know about us. Now, the people that haven't been here and have not experienced, the Troyville Hotel, obviously wouldn't have an understanding, and they might have a misconception. What we say to those people, come and try it out. Come and try it out, get a feel for it. You'll start understanding that the place is clean. We obviously manage the area very well. We ensure that there is safety and security. We are very close to the Jeppe police station. We have very good relationship with the Jeppe police station, the commander of the police station, all the security companies in the area.
And the police station is down the road.
It's just down the road, 500 meters from us. Yeah. So as I say, there's a lot of security companies. There's a lot of vigilance. And as I say, there's a big move to cleaning up, providing lighting, etc., etc. So it generally is a safe place to visit. For those people that used to visit Maboneng, maybe in the old days,
yes,
and perhaps now Maboneng isn't what it should be, I can't really answer because I don't really visit often. But I can tell you we're not too far away from them. And the customers that do come visit us are very, very impressed with what they've experienced and what they've felt. So from that point of view, there is absolute peace of mind that the place is safe to come to. Whether you're staying over for the night, or you're coming to a night event, or you're coming during the day, we have ample safe parking behind our hotel. We've got car guards that look after the cars. So, in a very small way, we've stimulated employment, and people around us appreciate that, and they make sure in turn that they help support the Troyville Hotel. And, they are, in many instances, our extended security, because they won't let people come and destroy what it is that's been built up. As far as the shuttle service, we per se don't have a shuttle service ourselves, but we've got operators. Okay.
So you outsource the service?
Yes, so we outsource the service. So if anybody phones us to make a booking for the room and are inquiring about shuttle services, we will put them in touch with a shuttle service provider who is a bona fide operator, who knows our hotel well. We have good relations and established rapport with them, and they understand the essence of looking after a guest that's traveling either from Park Station on the Gautrain or from OR Tambo, the airport, to our facility, that they are looked after until they actually arrive and they are inside our premise. Also, we have a very prominent Uber drop-off zone right outside our main door, and and there's Bolt, and there's a couple of other ancillary, sort of surface transport providers like taxis, and they all know the hotels, where the main entrance is. So from that point of view, you know, even your travel, your commute in from those destinations into the hotel generally should be a very safe one.
And I can attest to what you are saying. I think I've done a couple of events here, 4 or 5 if I'm not mistaken. It's going to be the 3rd time sleeping here. And ever since I have started having this relationship with the Troyville Hotel, I've never had any issues. Even the people who come to the events, they've never experienced any issues. So you heard it from the horse's mouth. Don't assume. Assumptions are wrong because you may find the wrong information. But the best thing to do, come and try out the Troyville Hotel, situated right in the heart of Johannesburg. And right now, Mr. Raul is going to take us for a tour to see what they offer for your own judgment.